Welcome to MA Crime Files. A body is found on the railway tracks in North Kolkata, discovered in the early light of September 21st, 2007. It's battered, marked by a deep gash on the back of the head and bruises on the eye and leg, a scene that raises more questions than answers. The police are quick, almost too quick, to label it an accident, ready to close the case. But those injuries hint at a far darker truth. This is a story of love that defied all odds, a Hindu-Muslim romance between Rizwanur Rahman and Priyanka Todi that dared to cross Kolkata's rigid lines of religion and class, only to crash into a wall of power, prejudice, and deadly consequences. Buckle up, because this tale's about to unravel a dark web of betrayal. Let's step back to the early summer of 2007, in the vibrant heart of Kolkata, India. In this bustling world, a quiet love story is taking shape, one that's about to spark a firestorm. Meet Rizwanur Rahman, a 30-year-old computer graphics trainer with a warm smile and big dreams. He's a middle-class Muslim from Park Circus, a neighborhood of tight-knit families and modest homes. Educated and ambitious, Rizwan wants to build a brighter future, but everything changes when he steps into a graphic design classroom and meets Priyanka Todi, where she was enrolled as a student and Rizwan a teacher. Priyanka is 24, lively, and from a world far removed from Rizwan's. She's the daughter of Ashok Todi, a wealthy industrialist behind Lux Cozy, an undergarments empire worth millions. Her family lives in luxury, surrounded by influence and status. She's Hindu, he's Muslim. She's rich, he's not. But when their eyes meet, those differences fade. They fall deeply in love, dreaming of a life together, no matter the barriers. They keep their love a secret. But in Kolkata, love across such divides can stir trouble. And this love is about to set off a chain of events that ends in tragedy. On August 31st, 2007, Rizwan and Priyanka make a bold move. They marry in secret under the Special Marriage Act, a law for interfaith unions. Priyanka leaves her family's mansion to live with Rizwan in his small, simple home. For a brief moment they're happy, stealing quiet moments amidst a brewing storm. When Ashok Todi learns his daughter has married a man he deems unworthy, his anger erupts. He's joined by Priyanka's uncle, Pradip Todi, and brother-in-law Anil Sarogi, determined to break the couple apart. This isn't just a family feud. It's a clash of power and pride, and it's about to turn dangerous. Priyanka, aware of her family's clout, urged Rizwan to seek police protection, but the Kolkata police were already in the Todi family's pocket, pressing the couple to end their marriage instead, a demand they defiantly refused. Then came the betrayal. The very officers sworn to protect them unleashed a campaign of bullying and harassment. The couple, Rizwan's friends and family, faced relentless threats, a blatant attempt to intimidate. The pressure surged when Rizwan was summoned to Lal Bazaar, Kolkata's daunting police headquarters. This was no casual chat. He faced a gauntlet of power. Police Commissioner Prasun Mukherjee, Deputy Commissioners Gyanwant Singh and Ajoy Kumar, and others, men allegedly tied to the Todis. In India, when such clout is at play, the law bends to their will, not the books. What unfolded behind those walls? Crippling pressure, demands to break his marriage. Alone, Rizwan stood against a towering wall of influence. The days drag on, and the tension builds. Rizwan continues to fight tirelessly for his wife, his love, his future. This goes on for weeks. On September 8th, Rizwan and Priyanka were summoned to the police station. To their surprise, Priyanka's father and uncle were already there. The police, puppets of the Todis, didn't just question Rizwan. They slammed him into a cell, sneering he'd face prison for robbery if he clung to Priyanka, a chilling threat later confirmed by his mother, Kishwar Jahan. Petrified, Priyanka relented, agreeing to return to her family, but only if they signed a pact to reunite her with Rizwan in 8 days. They agreed. They knew that paper holds no weight. But for Priyanka and Rizwan, hope stayed alive. The couple held on through secret phone calls, their only tether. One of those call turned grim. Priyanka's voice shook, warning Rizwan his home was unsafe, claiming her father had hired goons to harm him. Rizwan fled without a word, seeking shelter at his aunt's. On September 21st, 2007, as dawn creeps over Kolkata, Rizwan's phone slices through the morning's hush with a shrill ring. He jolts upright, heart pounding, and talks for a tense minute, his voice low and hurried. He quickly gets dressed and bolts out the door, vanishing into the city's stirring streets. Something sinister pulling him. Hours later, a train driver in North Kolkata makes a haunting discovery. A body on the tracks near Dum Dum station. It's severely injured, with a deep gash on the back of his head, along with multiple other injuries. The police rush in, declaring it an accident caused by a train, eager to close the case. But those injuries, they don't align. They hint at something far darker. Who was this person? And what truly happened on those tracks? The body is identified as Rizwan Rahman, the 30-year-old who dared to love across divides. Kolkata comes alive with outrage. His mother, Kishwar Jahan, and brother, Rukbanur, reject the police's story. The train driver insists his train didn't cause the injuries. Protests fill the streets. Candlelight vigils glow in the night, and the media dives in. This isn't just a loss, it's a scandal. The Todi family's wealth, their ties to top police officials, and the hurried investigation fuel whispers of a cover-up. The days crawl by, each one heavier with tension, and the mystery was about to get even deeper. A family friend, Syed Mohiuddin, known as Papu, allegedly brokers a deal, 11 lakh rupees to tear Rizwan and Priyanka apart. Rumours swirl that some of the money reached Rizwan's brother, Rukbanur, but he firmly denies it. The truth remains shrouded. Then, a bombshell hits. Private text messages, supposedly from Rizwan's phone, mysteriously leak to pro-police media, likely to push their questionable narrative. 1. Sent to Ashok Todi at 9:24 a.m. on September 21st. There is 10 minutes before I end it all. Let me talk to her for the last time. Another, to Priyanka's mother at 9:30 a.m. Mum, I will end it in 5 minutes. Please let me talk to her. But here is the twist. These text messages were sent in Hindi, but Rizwan's brother Rukbanur told media that Rizwan always texted in English, never in Hindi, which put a huge question mark on the credibility of these messages. Private text messages from Rizwan's phone mysteriously surfaced in pro-police media, conveniently bolstering the police and Todi family's questionable narrative, which was that Rizwan took his own life. Kolkata's streets pulse with even more outrage, as protests and candlelight vigils demand justice for Rizwan. Public pressure ignites a turning point. On October 16, 2007, the Calcutta High Court delivers a stunning blow, declaring the West Bengal Police's investigation into Rizwan's death unlawful, tainted by bias and rushed conclusions, a stinging rebuke to the Kolkata police. This ruling, a beacon of hope for Rizwan's grieving family, throws out the police's questionable narrative and hands the case to the Central Bureau of Investigation, India's top agency. The Chief Minister, Buddhadeb Bhattacharya, transfers 5 implicated officers, including the Commissioner, as the city holds its breath. This was a typical weak attempt of a politician to calm and please the public rightful outrage. Make no mistake, this was not an attempt to right the wrong, or to fix the police force, or else they would have been fired, not shuffled to new posts where their questionable practices could persist. A mere slap on the wrist. It seemed the tides were turning, with a glimmer of justice when, a year later, 3 officers, Deputy Commissioner Ajoy Kumar, Assistant Commissioner Sukanti Chakraborty, and Sub-Inspector Krishnendu Das, were arrested and jailed for abetting Rizwan's death, causing a huge dent in the Kolkata police's credibility, raising questions about how many other cases are marred by unlawful practices, bias, and rushed conclusions. But, because India's justice system loves a plot twist, all 3 of them secure bail by mid-October 2008, a fleeting nod to accountability that barely left a mark. Buckle up, because this story's about to take a darker turn, way darker. A sub-inspector with the Government Railway Police, Arindam Mana, was the first investigating officer in the death of Rizwan, and a key witness in the case, meets the same fate as Rizwan. Found on Mankundu's railway tracks with similar injuries and bruises as Rizwan. Investigation into his death went cold very fast. No arrests, no answers. Then there's Pradeep Das, a modest morgue worker who handled Rizwan's corpse at those eerie tracks. Poof. He vanishes. Gone without a trace after the CBI interrogated him. What did he know? What did he reveal in that interrogation? I guess we will never know. And get this. Pradeep's friend, a guy named Kalu, ends up splattered by a train near those same cursed tracks. Was Kalu's death another accident? Witnesses dropping like flies, murdered or missing. You don't need a detective to smell the rot here. This isn't bad luck. It's a neon sign flashing, "Power protects power." The CBI's findings shock the nation. Rizwan's death wasn't murder, but a case of abetment. Relentless pressure from the Todi family and police that pushed him to the edge. In December 2008, Ashok Todi and his relatives are arrested, only to be released on bail a month later. In May 2010, the Calcutta High Court orders a new probe, treating Rizwan's death as murder. But in March 2011, the Supreme Court reverses this, sticking with the CBI's abetment theory. Years pass, but the wounds remain raw. But it was not the end. One final blow to the victims and their families still awaiting. Sukanti Chakraborty, one of the officers arrested and bailed in 2008 for abetting Rizwanu's death, not only gets reinstated but in 2014 promoted to additional superintendent under Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's watch, a move dripping with political favoritism. Rizwan's mother, Kishwar Jahan, appealed to Chief Minister but to no avail. For Rizwan and Priyanka, love came at a heartbreaking cost. Kolkata still holds Rizwan's name close, a symbol of love crushed by power. This isn't just a mystery, it's a mirror to society's divides. It reveals the gaps between rich and poor, Hindu and Muslim, truth and influence. Years after Rizwanur Rahman's tragic death, some despicable opportunists continue to tarnish his memory, framing his love for Priyanka as love jihad, while painting Ashok Todi as a Hindu savior who rescued his daughter. As if Rizwanur's family hasn't endured enough pain. These lowlifes churn out vile narratives for clicks to exploit a heartbreaking story of love crushed by power and prejudice. Priyanka moved on with her life, seamlessly slipping back into her father's glittering Lux Cozy empire, while Rizwanur's family drowned in grief and unanswered questions. What do you think happened on those tracks? Was it an accident, a moment of despair, or a carefully hidden truth? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that dig deep.